Now give me that piece of paper, man. Let me see what I'm supposed to do next here.
Oh, they say that
What's up, guys? Welcome to this video on Elvis is the Man. So do you want to hear an interesting bit of information that I came across from reading the book, The Story Behind the '68 Special by Steve Binder? It was surprising to me, and I know it will be to you. But first, let's start with a bit of a backstory. So Elvis, after long days of rehearsing in June, was getting into the habit of jamming in his dressing room with Charlie Hodge and others. It's always funny to me how Elvis would unwind after a long day of performing, or in this instance of working on a TV special, by doing more singing. But Steve Binder witnessed this and realized that this is an Elvis the world has not seen. And no matter how good his scripts were to tell the story about who the real Elvis is, just like the Elvis movie that just came out, nothing could beat seeing the authentic Elvis without a script in that dressing room. So Binder says he makes the mistake of asking Andreas if he could bring a camera into the dressing room to record Elvis. Parker gives him an authoritative no and reminds him that this is supposed to be an hour-long Christmas special and there's no room for this crap to be in it. Parker literally called what Elvis was doing in that session crap. So long story short, Parker says he can film it, but he has to be on the stage, Elvis does. Binder says that right away his assistants went and wrote a script for Elvis to follow for the sit-down shows, which Binder says he never wanted anyway because it would take away from the fly-on-the-wall effect and the authenticity of it. So the major takeaway for me after reading the script was that the writers planned on Elvis singing 3 movie songs during the sit-down shows. Like, you know that won't fit. But Elvis did sing a few, for instance, like Little Egypt. You know, I'm not talking about Can't Help Falling in Love or Jailhouse Rock. But the ones the writers picked were a definite no. Let me show you more of what I'm talking about and show you examples how Elvis used the script for the sit-down special.
Elvis will talk about not being able to touch hands with body, or body with hands.
Alright guys, if you noticed, I did put a small message there saying that if anything in this video is muted, it's because of copyright, and I will put the full video in the description, so that way you can at least see everything that I was trying to put up without actually having to wreck the video or take the video down. But the footage I just showed you was Elvis ad-libbing a little bit from that first part of the script, which I'll show here. If you can read the clip that I put on here, it says, "I couldn't touch my body with my hands in Philadelphia, and on network television. I couldn't be shot from the waist down."
From the waist down.
Now here's one I know that we're all familiar with. See, when I first watched the '68 special, I thought all this stuff was just him being funny, but he actually got parts of this from the script and he just made it his own. Look at the part of the script here where it gives reference to Elvis's movie days, beginning with Jailhouse Rock.
You remember that, don't you? Yeah. I got news for you, baby. I did 29 pictures like that. Man.
And then we can hear good old Charlie laughing the loudest, his #1 friend. But what the script called for him to say, not that he was going to say it verbatim, but he was going to talk about his sideburns and how he has them because they're back in style again. He says, "I still got that upper left lip scowl." He says, "Remember that? I did the entire production of Jailhouse Rock like that. On that look alone, baby." If you're wondering what Cotton Candy Land is doing in this video, it's because the writers had the idea of having this song in the sit-down, along with 2 others. This is the first one. Can you imagine him singing this there? Like, I know this song is, like, kind of cool. I mean, even Baz had this in the Elvis movie this past summer. So it is pretty cool. Hey, if you haven't checked out the remix, I suggest you do it. But this, I don't know about that.
Sandman's coming, yes, he's coming.
Then Steve reveals to us through his book that this song was also written in. Glad Elvis overlooked this one. I don't know what the writers had in mind when they chose this song. I mean, they obviously didn't know that this was supposed to be some type of a comeback. If they did, they must have been really out of touch to pick this one.
Come on and buzz a little, sing a little, sing a little, buzz a little, sing a little bit with me.
You just got this show off the air, boy, I'll tell you.
Next, Elvis was supposed to sing Wooden Heart. Now, I understand this one a little more since this one was some type of a hit. I mean, it was in Elvis's first movie after the Army, GI Blues. It was on the soundtrack. And surprisingly enough, in the UK on the singles chart, it spent 6 weeks at #1. That's incredible to me in the UK. I mean, Elvis's overseas fans were some of the most loyalists. And I think actually 40% of all Elvis's records that he's sold has been from overseas. So that's a little taste of what this script was supposed to be like. Elvis, as you could see, had the script in front of him, and this was all laid out. This is what Binder said was the actual script. I'm glad Elvis didn't, do these 3 songs. I think it would have made it corny, and I don't think Elvis would have done it anyway because Elvis was trying to break away from this image, especially like Viva Las Vegas. That was a hit movie, but he said, I would never do Viva Las Vegas in concert. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed this book. This one has a bunch of rare stories in it. I'm loving reading it. I got a little sidetracked because I read the Ray Connolly book, which I just talked to you guys about a few days ago. I got the Child Bride book that I started reading. I'm like, wait a minute, let me back up. Let me finish this one. Not that it's a duty, but I'm like, I don't want to have like 5 books open at the same time. So if you guys haven't got this book, get it. I'm sure there's going to be more content coming from this one. Guys, just a quick note. I put in the video that some things might be muted because of copyright. Like, I'll put it up and I'll try to do my best, but sometimes YouTube will just pick up a little too much of something and it'll like block the video. It'll say mute it or it's demonetized or something like that. So if I have to mute it or whatever just to get the video up so you can see it, that's something I'll do. But I'm still trying to work with the editing on there, so please be understanding with that as well, because I want my best videos to be on YouTube. But also with Patreon, I'm doing the FTDs on there as they come out. Right now I'm working on this particular one, Devil in Disguise, the Lost Album. I'm really liking it. There's some good, some bad with it, so check it out. I'm going to be doing FTD reviews on Patreon, as well as going through Elvis's studio albums. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. It helps to grow and expand the channel. If you've liked this, make sure you comment down below and tell me what you think. Tell me about that script. What do you guys think about that? I'm glad Elvis scrapped it, and there's a video I'm coming out with in the next few days. Roughly, we'll see how busy I get. But it'll be about how Parker sabotaged the ticket sales for that sit-down show. It's messed up. Man, the more I read about that, the more I'm angry. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like, this one took me 5 hours to make just so you get an idea of how time-consuming these videos are, and you know why. Maybe I'll have to mute something or something else just to get it up, because I don't want to do all that for nothing. But anyway, I'm just explaining to you guys some of the process that goes into these videos. But anyway, I know you guys understand, and we'll talk to you next time.